Righty. Well, good morning. Thank you for joining us. I am not SRM President Charles Hart. Rather, I am your Executive Vice President, Jess Peterson, and I will be moderating this morning's awards ceremony. This is an exciting time for the Society. It always is when we get together and celebrate the achievements. But I do want to take a moment, and it's a pretty rough weather pattern there across the country. And in fact, our president, Charlie Hart, got caught up in it, and they're without power and water. And we know several folks across the country are dealing with the same. So let's just take a moment and just pause and reflect and hope that all of our colleagues and friends across this country, nation, and world are doing okay as we work through these weather patterns. So again, I hope they're all right. Again, one of the most exciting things we do in the Society is celebrate you, the membership, your hard work, your commitment, your dedication, your accomplishments, your years of hard work, all the things that you go into it. It's really, really exciting that we can come together at one of the largest attended events. Always the most highly attended event is our awards ceremony. And it's something we look forward to each and every year. Now, I will say it's going to be a little bit different this year. We won't quite have the rowdiness of the applause, and you're certainly not going to have the handshakes and whatnot, but we're going to do everything we possibly can. And already just looking at the turnout we have here this morning, you can tell a lot of folks are enthused. A lot of folks are excited about what it means to celebrate the accomplishments of you, the members, and the ones that have received awards this year. So again, I'm Jess Peterson, your Executive Vice President. President Charlie Hart could not be here today and sends his best. And we're going to get started with the 74th annual SRM annual meeting awards ceremony. So with that, we'd like to kick things off. These ones, it's always incredible to announce the next line of awards. These are some of the highest and most prestigious within the Society. What we're doing up here, coming up next, is we're going to recognize the leadership and innovation in science and land stewardship. We're going to celebrate dedication and commitment to SRM and range management. And this is my favorite. I don't do a very good job with scripts, so I'm going to just jump in and say it like I feel and see it. This is the one that I think the award ceremony is so incredible. Is the amount of inspiration that comes when everyone across the Society, both our seasoned and veteran members to our youngest, newest folks to the SRM family, everyone sees what it takes to whether you're winning that competition or you've been recognized for a lifetime of achievement. So join me, everyone, here today in celebrating these amazing accomplishments. We've truly shown that even a global pandemic cannot undercut the work, the passion, the commitment, the success of members within your Society for Range Management. So join me, take a moment, and let's honor and recognize this year's award recipients. So with that, roll the tape, please.
Welcome to the 2021 Society for Range Management Awards ceremony. Thank you for joining us while we recognize these outstanding leaders in rangeland science and management. We are honored to acknowledge their profound accomplishments and proud to have them as champions of rangeland stewardship in SRM. We begin today with the Frederick G. Renner Award. This award is the most prestigious award bestowed by the Society. It was made possible by a generous contribution from Frederick G. Renner, a charter and life member and SRM's second president in 1949. The award is presented with the belief that such recognition will foster better use of rangeland resources and a broader understanding of the contributions that these resources make to the welfare of all people. It is with great honor that the Society for Range Management announces that Dr. Patrick L. Shaver is the recipient of SRM's highest award, the Frederick G. Renner Award. Pat's interest in agriculture and natural resources started on the family's New Mexico ranch as a natural part of growing up. He learned to respect the land and to plan for the future. As a youngster, he was involved with 4-H and used the proceeds of his sheep projects to finance his college education. Upon graduation from high school, he attended New Mexico State University, where he discovered and developed his lifelong commitment to understanding and management of rangelands. Pat began his noteworthy career while still a university student, serving as a student technician for the Agricultural Research Service on the Jornada Experimental Range and being on the New Mexico State University Plant ID team in 1972 and 1973. Dr. Shaver began his professional career with the Soil Conservation Service, now the Natural Resources Conservation Service, in several New Mexico locations where he served as a range conservationist, district conservationist, and area range conservationist. Later, Dr. Shaver became a state range conservationist, first in Texas and later in Utah. He was promoted to regional range conservationist at the West Region Technical Center, where he worked for several years. He then transferred to the Grazing Lands Technology Institute in Texas, stationed at Oregon State University. He finished his NRCS career at the West National Technology Center in Portland, Oregon. Dr. Shaver retired from the agency in 2013, having served nearly 40 years. From 2013 to present, Dr. Shaver has been a professor of rangeland ecology and management at Oregon State University, where he teaches many of the technical rangeland courses. During his long and exemplary career working to improve the world's rangelands, Dr. Shaver has had many highlights and positive experiences. Pat thinks of his career-long opportunity to interact with private ranchers and landowners developing their resources as a primary highlight. At the same time, he has been remarkably successful in working with other agency and university professionals to learn and apply new scientific principles to management. His long-term focus has been on the development of ecological site concepts, fire ecology and management, and rangeland health, the most recent version of which, version 5, was published last year. He has had a major role in the development of NRCS's current National Range and Pasture Handbook. Throughout his career, Dr. Shaver has traveled the world: Argentina, Australia, Canada, China, Iceland, Kenya, Mexico, and Mongolia, on repeated trips to share his knowledge with rangeland managers globally. Currently, in his second career as teaching professor at Oregon State University, he is a very successful mentor, claiming rave reviews for his knowledge, communication, skills, and empathy. Pat has stated that both these exciting and valuable careers have provided him with the opportunity for continued self-education and lifelong learning, an approach to life which Dr. Shaver views as his key to being useful and relevant over the decades. Dr. Shaver has been active in the Society for Range Management for 48 years. His continual participation in SRM has kept him current in developing rangeland science knowledge and allowed him to quickly integrate this new information into his programs. Within SRM, Dr. Shaver has served in many section and parent society positions, accumulating as the president of the Society for Range Management in 2015. Pat attributes his success to the love and support of a vibrant and supportive family. Pat and Sharon met in 5th grade and were best friends all through their public school years, but they didn't date until after they were attending different colleges. They married in 1974 after she finished graduate school at the University of Illinois. They have 3 sons: Kyle, who is an emergency room physician, Ross, who is a Lutheran minister, and Mark, who is a nuclear engineer. Pat and Sharon's 3 sons are married to lovely women and have blessed the Shavers with 7 grandchildren. By his profound accomplishments in rangeland science and management and service to the SRM, we are honored to acknowledge the superb individual. The Society for Range Management proudly presents the 2021 Frederick G. Renner Award to Dr. Patrick L. Shaver.
Thank you. It is indeed an honor and humbling experience to be presented this award. It's truly the highlight of my professional life and career. To be honored by one's peers is truly humbling. especially when those peers are a group such as this. People that are truly respected and whose profession is helping others understand and manage such a precious resource as our rangelands. I would first like to thank Drs. Buckhouse and Kruger for their work in nominating me. I know what that entails, and I appreciate it. To be nominated for this recognition by such individuals as these is in itself a tremendous honor. Thank you, John and Bill. Secondly, and most importantly, my family, and especially my wife, Sharon. Without their love and support and encouragement, none of this would have been possible. Through seemingly countless moves across several states, enrollment in many different schools for our sons, and uncertainty of agency reorganizations and endless travel, they endured and always encouraged me and even welcomed me home. I love you all. Thank you. It would be impossible to thank everyone that I probably should. There are truly too many to count. To paraphrase an expression that Dr. Buckhouse is fond of using, if I have been able to do anything, it is because I am standing on the shoulders of giants. Professionals who have accomplished remarkable things and have stood out in their careers and lives. While many of those giants are no longer with us, I wish we were in person today so that I could look out and see many of those that are. You all could look around and see them too. They would be sitting right next to you. That's an interesting and distinguishing characteristic, I think, of our society. All of us involved with the Society for Range Management have the opportunity and encouragement to become one of those giants. It has been an amazing group of people that have influenced and guided me from my time in college through 40 years with the Soil Conservation Service, Natural Resources Conservation Service, through a transition to teaching at Oregon State University, through 50 years of service to this society, through various committees, the board of directors, and the presidency. The knowledge that these people have passed on to me and the opportunities that they have given me have been immeasurable. It is truly one of the wonderful things about our profession and this society. Everyone is anxious to share what they know and to learn from each other. A colleague from a different profession who attended one of our annual meetings some years ago, I think it was Fort Worth in 2005, made a very interesting and I think telling comment. He said that he had never seen a group of people that argued and discussed things so passionately, almost angrily, and then joined each other at dinner or at the bar and enjoyed each other's company as much and were such good friends. It is that passion for knowledge and learning and sharing that knowledge that makes this profession viable and strong. It is, after all, the relationship with people and ministering to people that make us true professionals. I really cannot imagine having had a different profession or career. The opportunities to work with and learn from people throughout the world and the spectrum of experience and education has been extremely rewarding. From college professors trying to teach me principles and to think critically, to ranchers and pastoralists who showed me what it means to be stewards of the land and really made me into a range conservationist, to agency and NGO personnel and consultants, working with people to help them make informed management decisions, to researchers investigating the science. All have shared their knowledge and experiences freely. That's what being a professional is all about, using our knowledge and experiences to help others gain a better understanding. That improved understanding leads to improved application, experience, and the ability to pass that knowledge on to others. That is what I hope my career has been about, helping others learn and apply science-based, application-tested rangeland management. Thank you again. It is truly an honor and privilege to be presented with this year's Frederick G. Renner Award.
The W.R. Chaplin Land Stewardship Award gives special recognition to members of the Society for exceptional accomplishments and contributions in the application of the art and science of range management. It is given in recognition of exceptional landowners, land managers, administrators, and counselors in the field of range management and supporting disciplines. The Society for Range Management is honored to present the 2021 W.R. Chaplin Land Stewardship Award to Frank Price. Speaking on behalf of Frank's accomplishments is friend and nominator Jenny Pluhar.
Hello, my name is Jenny Pluhar. Today I am especially pleased to present my friend Frank Price with the Society for Range Management W.R. Chaplin Land Stewardship Award. Frank Price's professional contributions to range management can be summarized simply. He is an exceptional practitioner of range stewardship, an unparalleled educator, a servant leader to the ranching community, and a tireless advocate for rangeland stewardship from the halls of Congress to other producers. Frank ranches in west central Texas, though his reach and influence extend far beyond. He and his son Sims, along with Ginger and Krista, their wives, operate owned and leased land collectively called the Frank and Sims Price Ranch. They are the fourth and fifth generation to steward the land. Frank has been an avid student of all things range since his high school days. He is well versed in the history of rangelands of Texas and how they have changed over many years. He studied and implemented early quote-unquote grazing systems, figuring out the rangeland ecosystem and how to operate in sync with that ecosystem. Frank has added to his operations steadily over the years, taking depleted rangeland and coaxing and stewarding it into excellent condition. While he practices brush control and prescribed fire, Frank will be the first to tell you that the efforts and expense of such practices are wasted without grazing management, specifically rest periods for our native vegetation. Not only does Frank do an exceptional job at managing and stewarding the rangelands in his care, he educates thousands, advocates for rangeland stewardship and policy creation, as well as on the landscape. He is never afraid to speak the truth and has been known to tell thousands of ranchers at industry association gatherings that most of them really are not doing a good job at stewarding their rangelands. Frank has an open gate policy and is happy to host field days, workshops, or just someone interested in learning about rangeland stewardship. He welcomed an episode of Out on the Land television show to the ranch to feature his grazing management. At my urging, nearly 3 years ago, Frank ventured into the world of Facebook. His posts are wildly popular and entirely about rangeland issues. He describes what is happening on his rangelands, teaching a grazing management lesson once every week or two. With over 2,000 followers, many of his posts are shared over and over. Thus, each of those shares opens his work up to thousands more eager learners. His message reaches many and is meaningful and relevant to land stewards. When Frank talks, writes, posts, one thing is absolutely certain: people listen. He has the street cred of a practicing rancher, running cattle and sheep and a profitable deer hunting enterprise. His online presence has grown to a blog, which he was encouraged to begin by his pastor. His blog, Rangelands and Ranching, teaches people who do not want to be on Facebook, but enjoy and learn from his postings. Frank serves the ranching community through his efforts on Texas Sheep and Goat Raisers Board of Directors, Texas and Southwestern Cattle Raisers Association Board of Directors, Texas Grazing Land Coalition Board, and he chairs the Concho Valley Grazing Land Coalition. That's just to name a few. He shares his stewardship experiences with those groups regularly. On the Texas State NRCS Technical Advisory Committee, Frank advocates for more requirements on landowners receiving federal cost share funding to practice good grazing management. Frank is also outspoken when it comes to challenging the academic community to produce and communicate science in a meaningful way to land stewards, something he feels falls short all too often. Frank has explored the role of grazing land stewardship in not only livestock production and wildlife enhancement, but he is a pioneer in establishing and utilizing brush control and prescribed fire to create buffer zones around communities. These buffer zones allow wildland firefighters access to somewhere to stop a wildfire quickly approaching a community. The Texas Forest Service is exploring how grazing management and brush control can aid them in their mission of keeping communities in wildfire-prone areas protected. And of course, Frank Price is at the forefront of the effort. Any angle to get good stewardship and grazing management on the landscape gets his attention. Frank is engaged with the Texas A&M AgriLife Research and Extension. A team of scientists is pursuing grant funding that began with Frank walking into the Texas A&M AgriLife Research and Extension Center at San Angelo with an idea. His idea is the mustard seed that will be $1 million plus project utilizing the latest virtual reality technology to spread the message of grazing management. Truthfully, Frank Price did not aspire to become a leading educator in rangeland stewardship. He aspired to be an outstanding rangeland steward. I can think of no one more suited to be honored with the Society for Range Management W.R. Chaplin Land Stewardship Award than Frank S. Price.
For outstanding land stewardship, the Society for Range Management is pleased to honor Frank Price with the 2021 W.R. Chaplin Land Stewardship Award.
Receiving the Chaplin Award is an honor that I certainly never dreamed to be achievable. When reviewing the past winners, I am humbled to be a part of a list of some of the best rangeland stewards that have ever been a part of the Society of Rangeland Management. And I personally feel that being a part of this group comes a commitment to continue to be a part of the promotion and understanding of what SRM is all about. The mission statement of SRM is providing leadership for the stewardship of rangelands based on sound ecological principles. The challenging times of the current environmentally charged, politically charged issues facing our nation is even more reason for everyone associated with rangeland health and management to be keenly aware of what is happening locally within our individual states and the nation. He must be prepared to use all the tools within one's field of expertise to reach out to those that are demanding the justifiable changes in our approach to environmental concerns. Yet perhaps just as important, being aware of those unjustifiable solutions that would be a detriment to our rangeland resource. Being a professional organization, SRM has the tools and knowledge to be of great value to those suggesting change and help educate them in what tools are available and productive to achieve those environmental goals. We can truly make a difference. Many times, even the professionals are not in agreement as to what the proper tools for rangeland improvement are. This is as it should be. The answers are not simple ones, as there are so many variables to address within our widely dispersed climate, rangeland sites, and utilization of those resources. SRM is an especially good place to address those differences of opinion and find a cohesive response to those wishing to understand, so that true, effective, positive change in our environment can be made. Whether it be storing carbon in our soils, improving the water, mineral, microbial cycles, and reducing wind and water erosion, the Society of Range Management has much to offer and desperately needs to be a large contributor to the resolution of these environmental issues. Now is not the time to lay back and see what happens. Now is the time for action. Be involved. Once again, I'm extremely honored to accept the W.R. Chaplin Land Stewardship Award and pledge to do what I can to enhance the valuable resources that our SRM has to offer in this environmental struggle.
The W.R. Chaplin Research Award gives a special recognition to members of the Society for exceptional and sustained research accomplishments in range science and associated disciplines. For outstanding research accomplishments, the Society for Range Management is pleased to honor Dr. Tony Zvekar with the W.R. Chaplin Research Award. Speaking on behalf of Dr. Zvekar's accomplishments is colleague and nominator Dr. Chad Boyd.
Dr. Tony Zvekar is a preeminent scientist who is nationally and internationally recognized for his many significant contributions to rangeland science and technology, his impact on management of rangelands, and his enduring dedication toward helping other scientists become more productive and successful. He has contributed greatly to SRM through service to a variety of parent society committees, organizing symposia, and through his involvement with the SRM Major Enhancement Task Force. Dr. Zvekar has authored or co-authored over 200 scientific and management publications and has been recognized nationally as the outstanding senior scientist in the USDA Agricultural Research Service. He initiated the ARS CO2 Flux Network, an effort designed to identify the influence of U.S. rangelands on global carbon cycling. This effort, which generated 27 publications, has been of great interest to not only the scientific community, but also to national and international policymakers concerned about the impacts of humans on global climate change. Dr. Zvekar pioneered the use of the stable isotope carbon-13 for carbon cycling research, providing a simple and cost-efficient means of studying carbon cycling that is not subject to the regulatory constraints of previously used non-stable isotopic methods. Dr. Zvekar's research on western juniper has been used widely in both public and private lands management across the western United States, and federal land management agencies now routinely cite these publications when developing environmental impact statements and environmental assessments. Dr. Zvekar's research has redefined our perceptions of the importance of different life history stages in seedling establishment, and this work was the genesis of a first-of-its-kind effort to develop seed amendment technologies. Results of this work are now being applied and further tested in most western states and have resulted in a partner research network that includes universities, NGOs, and private business interest in the U.S. and Australia. Dr. Zvekar has used research as a tool to define grazing tolerance and regrowth potential of riparian plant species, resulting in tangible grazing management recommendations for meeting end-of-year stubble height standards that are now being used to guide management on federal rangelands. Perhaps the most remarkable aspect of Dr. Zvekar's career has been his visionary commitment to placing timely research into the hands of managers and scientists that need them most. To that end, Dr. Zvekar both encouraged and rewarded scientists under his direction for extension and outreach efforts during his nearly 30 years as research leader with the Agricultural Research Service at the Eastern Oregon Ag Research Center in Burns, Oregon. This holistic view of the niche of range scientist has increased recognition by the larger natural resources community of the role of range science in helping to solve complex management issues on western rangelands and help build the EOARC into a national and international center of excellence for applied rangeland research and extension. Over the past 30 years, Dr. Tony Zvekar's exceptional and sustained research accomplishments have helped shape the science and management of rangeland resources. In addition, his outstanding leadership and outreach achievements have provided insight, direction, and motivation to those who manage, value, and depend upon rangelands for their livelihood. Dr. Svakar's innovative science, professional leadership, and service to SRM make him a most deserving recipient of the 2021 W.R. Chaplin Research Award.
The Society for Range Management is honored to present the 2021 W.R. Chaplin Research Award to Dr. Tony Svakar.
Hello, I'm Tony Svakar, here to accept the W.R. Chaplin Research Award from SRM. I first want to emphasize what an honor it is to receive this award. And second, in the name of Zoom fatigue, I want to say that I will keep my presentation short. I want to take a little time here to thank the folks who nominated me. There are many outstanding individuals who do not receive the recognition they deserve because they're simply not nominated. So I'd like to encourage everyone to consider putting together a nomination for one of the many SRM awards. As is usually the case, this is really a group award with a wide variety of folks assisting me with my accomplishments. Cooperating scientists, postdocs, graduate students, and a variety of others. Thanks to all of you. I'm not going to talk much about my research per se, but rather about some of the factors that shaped the research. I moved to Southeast Oregon 30 years ago and was given the task of directing a small, underfunded Agricultural Research Service range program, which was located in a small, natural resource dependent community. The local folks were very willing to share their thoughts on the shortcomings of the research center and provide suggestions for what we should be doing. Some were surprised when I asked them for help by providing land, applying treatments, things such as juniper cutting, fires, seeding, or grazing, and in some cases they even chose to help us with funding. Over a decade ago, Chad Boyd and I wrote an article addressing complex problems in rangeland management. In the paper, we described what we viewed as traditional manager-research interactions, and we also described an alternative vision. With the traditional approach, researchers typically receive input from managers on the front end. They spend some years working on the topic. They then publish the results, and managers may use the material or may not. Our vision was different than that. Our vision involved regular, almost continuous interactions between the two groups. And having a research center in a small, remote community is an advantage in that regard. We interact with both private and public land managers as part of the community. Our kids go to school together, we see each other at community events and at local stores. In fact, when a natural resource controversy arose, I found that even going to Safeway or Ranch Supply usually involved lengthy conversations, so I had to figure out more time than I probably planned on at these when I did these visits. So over the 25 years I was research leader at the Eastern Oregon Ag Research Center, the Ag Research Service program increased from initially 3 federal employees to over 25. The increase was a result of customer support. Our customers felt that we made a difference. So many of my accomplishments are shared with those employees, and without customer support, my career would have had far fewer successes. In closing, I really want to thank those customers, the ranchers and employees of state and federal agencies and environmental groups who considered our work important and made sure we stayed on track. They also went to bat for us. Thanks for those who are watching. Thanks for tuning in.
All right. Well, there was a loud roar of applause across SRM country and nation right now. So again, a big congratulations to our award recipients. We're going to be acknowledging you throughout the meeting, so just stay tuned for that. And folks in the audience, we're going to have a way to get you involved. There's a few chat lines coming in there too. So again, just outstanding accomplishment, achievement, very humble individuals here, but for all of you that are watching right now, if this doesn't inspire you, and there's one word that comes to mind when I think of these three individuals and what it means, and that is mentorship. Each and every one of them has spent so much time giving so much, and yet they continue to mentor and help. And so as you're getting involved, and this might be one of your early on meetings, all of these individuals, you can approach them in the hallways. As you referenced, you can approach some of them on social media, and you can actually interact with them in this meeting. So again, on behalf of the Society for Range Management, congratulations, Pat Shaver, Frank Price, and Tony Sakar. With that, we'll move on to our next accomplishments within the Society. And these awards are given for our longstanding trailblazers within the Society, along with our emerging leaders. So you might see some of these leaders recognized here shortly in this esteemed category that we've just witnessed here. So again, without further ado, let's turn over to our next round of award recipients and join me in welcoming them to the virtual platform. Thank you.
For over 4 decades, Dr. Leonard Jolly has dedicated his career to improving rangelands and working relationships with conservationists and landowners. He spent most of his life in California, starting as a soil scientist, working on soil surveys, understanding the foundation that drives so much of the rangeland ecosystem. From there, he worked his way up from range conservationist, district conservationist, state range conservationist, West Region Tech Center range specialist, and then on to NRCS headquarters in Beltsville, Maryland. During his career, he obtained his Ph.D. at Colorado State University, worked as the NRCS liaison to SRM, was a research associate professor at the University of Nevada, Reno, adjunct faculty at Colorado State University, and lecturer and visiting scientist at Humboldt State University and University of California, Davis. He was influential in development of the original Rangeland Watershed Program, which resulted in development of rangeland water quality plans on millions of acres in California. He led the efforts in development of the Conservation Effects Assessment Program, CEAP, as the grazing team leader, managing the national assessment of this effort. His work resulted in the publication of the Conservation Benefits of Rangeland Practices Assessment Recommendations and Knowledge Gaps. Other notable work included working with the Lake Tahoe Regional Planning Department to improve water quality of the lake. He has worked with public and private groups to reach common ground in range management practices. His publications are numerous, and his impact on rangeland management is even greater. It is with great honor to present Dr. Leonard Jolly with the Society for Range Management's Sustained Lifetime Achievement Award. Charlie Clement's research has focused on rehabilitation of degraded rangelands throughout the Great Basin for over 30 years. Charlie received a Bachelor of Science in Wildlife Management in 1988 from the University of Nevada. Shortly thereafter, Charlie started his career with the USDA Agricultural Research Service in Reno, Nevada. Charlie then received his Master's in Range Management from the University of Nevada in 1993. Charlie has authored or co-authored over 250 presentations and articles, including 2 books. Charlie has also mentored many students and young professionals in the range field. Charlie's passion has always aligned with rehabilitating degraded rangelands and improving wildlife habitats and sustaining wildlife practices using an integrated approach from mechanical and chemical weed control practices to plant material testing and seeding methodologies. Charlie has participated in numerous organizations ranging from the Mule Deer Foundation to the Society for Range Management and been assigned to numerous committees and technical teams. Charlie's love for the outdoors has fueled his passion to apply aggressive weed control practices, followed by rehabilitation restoration practices that improve wildlife habitat and sustained agricultural practices. We are pleased to award Charlie Clements with the Society for Range Management's Outstanding Achievement in Research Academia Award. Dr. Mark Horney is a 27-year member of the Society for Range Management and is a faculty of one, teaching courses in range resource management and livestock production at Cal Poly State University in San Luis Obispo, California. Dr. Mark, as he is known to his students, is not just a range professor who is passionate about educating and mentoring his students and finding time to submit research papers, but also a man who contributes to range management in a multitude of ways. Mark has long been active in the National Range Science Education Council, taking leadership positions in the organization beginning in 2013 and collaborating with other educators in developing range workshops and curriculum for students and professionals. As a national member of SRM, he has participated or led several committees, including the SRM Annual Conference's Student Activities Committee and chairing the Graduate Student Competition Committee since 2015, Remote Sensing GIS Committee from 2010 through 2017, and the Targeted Grazing Committee. As a CalPAC member, he has been involved in the long-standing range camp for high school students beginning in 2002, taking on directorship from 2006 to 2015, and scaling back to co-director from 2016 to 2018, a somewhat thankless but much-needed job that takes hours of time and energy beyond just the week of the camp. He also makes time for the CalPAC Chapter Student Affairs and Range Management Certification Panel. It is with great honor to present Dr. Mark Horney with the Society for Range Management's Outstanding Achievement in Research Academia Award. Dr. Barbara Hutchinson serves as the Program Director for the Rangelands Partnership Initiative and Communications Coordinator for the Natural Resource Users Law and Policy Center, NRULPC, at the University of Arizona. She is dedicated to the open dissemination of information, data, and educational resources that will facilitate lifelong learning, improve decision-making, and the advancement of innovation for solving society's grand challenges. This commitment has been most fully realized in her work in creating and sustaining the Rangelands Partnership, a collaboration of participants from 19 land-grant universities. For over 20 years, partnership members have worked to develop the Global Rangelands, Rangelands West, and state-level websites soon to be relaunched as the Rangelands Gateway. Dr. Hutchinson's notable grant-writing expertise has successfully brought funding in over the years to improve and expand the presentation and content of the Rangeland Partnership websites. Dr. Hutchinson has also been a driving force in the multi-year effort to gain a UN designation for an International Year of Rangelands and Pastoralists, which will raise awareness of rangeland issues worldwide. With patience, energy, determination, and admirable relationship-building skills, she has helped to keep the momentum of that initiative going. Recently, the FAO Council passed the report of the Committee on Agriculture, which is recommending the International Year of Rangelands and Pastoralists to the FAO Conference in July 2021. We are pleased to award Dr. Hutchinson with the Society for Range Management's Outstanding Achievement in Research and Academia Award. David Lyle has served the rangeland-dependent communities of northeastern California as a University of California Cooperative Extension Livestock and Natural Resources Advisor for over the past 3 decades. Throughout his career, David has assiduously provided critical leadership to solve rangeland sustainability challenges facing these communities using science-based, solution-oriented approaches. His efforts have aided and facilitated improved policies, strategies, and practices to implement partnership-based conservation programs to improve millions of acres of rangeland in the region. Stakeholders place high value on David's technical expertise, his friendship, and his ability to establish trust and confidence with a diverse community on topics ranging from sage grouse to water quality. He has worked tirelessly to build consensus around contentious topics and create collaborative, science-based solutions to enhance natural resources and sustain productive agricultural enterprises. David has spent his career pursuing sustainable rangeland management. We are pleased to recognize David Lyle with the SRM's Outstanding Achievement in Land Stewardship Award. Dr. Elise Gornish is an extraordinary leader in the field of rangeland restoration and has already advanced a remarkable and productive career. She has published 57 peer-reviewed papers and served as principal investigator, co-investigator on more than $3.2 million in research and extension grants. Dr. Gornish uses novel, trait-based, and demographic approaches within a framework of community ecology, population ecology, and invasive biology to identify factors driving restoration successes and failures. Importantly, she partners with landowners to ensure her work provides science-based recommendations useful to designing realistic strategies. She is dedicated to translating and connecting rangeland restoration research to management and policy. She has worked to cultivate and strengthen research management partnerships and has led community science efforts to collect place-based knowledge directly from land managers. She has mentored more than 30 graduate and undergraduate students, and she is founder and director of the Tucson branch of Girls on Outdoor Adventure for Leadership and Science, or GALS, a free education program that provides hands-on learning opportunities for students from underrepresented groups in the STEM fields. The Society of Range Management is pleased to recognize Dr. Gornish with the Outstanding Young Range Professional Award. Dr. Devin McGranahan's passion for grazing and conservation began when pasture management on his family's farm in Clay County, Iowa, was modified to promote grassland birds. He was introduced to rangelands during a postgraduate year living on game ranches in South Africa and became interested in fire ecology as a graduate student studying patch burn grazing at Iowa State University. After a Fulbright scholarship in South Africa and promotion to Associate Professor of Range Science at North Dakota State University in Fargo, North Dakota, Dr. McGranahan joined the USDA ARS Livestock and Range Research Laboratory in Miles City, Montana in 2021. While at NDSU, Dr. McGranahan designed and taught classes in plant identification, fire ecology, and applied data analysis and programming. Dr. McGranahan has published a co-authored textbook, The Ecology of Fire-Dependent Ecosystems, in addition to 2 book chapters and 45 peer-reviewed research publications. Dr. McGranahan serves the Society for Range Management as the chairperson of the International Affairs Committee and as an associate editor of Rangelands. He also helped plan the 2021 virtual annual meeting. Dr. McGranahan's research is focused on sustainable livestock production in the Great Plains, with emphasis on how prescribed fire can help ranchers adapt to drought and manage healthy ecosystems. We are pleased to recognize Dr. Devin McGranahan with the Society for Range Management's Outstanding Young Range Professional Award. Dr. Morgan Treadwell has a true passion for rangeland management and bringing the science to producers. Her passion is coupled with a strong work ethic, leading to numerous programs and trainings. Morgan's strong background and knowledge in fire has filled a much-needed niche in West Central Texas. She has hosted numerous programs on prescribed burning and has been conducting prescribed burning schools each year for anyone interested in implementing the practice on rangelands. Without a doubt, many of Morgan's activities and accomplishments are a result of her position as a range extension specialist. The characteristic that separates Morgan is that she does not stop when reaching the desired minimum for her position. For example, Morgan is actively involved in numerous research projects at both Texas A&M University and Angelo State University, even though her position is 100% extension. Because of work ethic and passion for rangeland management, she exceeds all expectations. Lastly, even with a hectic schedule as a range extension specialist, she finds the time to remain active with SRM and Texas SRM. She has just recently completed a term on the Texas SRM Board of Directors, served as vice president, and is currently serving as president of Texas SRM. Likewise, she is active in supporting youth activities and other community service activities. The Society for Range Management is pleased to recognize Dr. Morgan Treadwell with the Outstanding Young Range Professional Award. Veronica Urbanzik embodies the attitude and spirit of a young professional at SRM. She is a true innovator and seeks to inspire new ways of thinking about rangeland management. As an active SRM member for the past 8 years, Veronica's dedication to building community within SRM has continued to grow. Veronica served as president for the Young Professionals Conclave, YPC, in 2019 and currently serves as the YPC Advisory Council Chair and the Texas Section YPC Chair. She is constantly brainstorming new activities, events, or research projects that can bring people together under the common goal of maintaining and enhancing working landscapes. For example, she has pioneered new events focused on connecting diverse stakeholders at both the section and parent society level. This includes organizing a team-building weekend for the Texas Section YPC and co-chairing the panel discussion Greenhorn to Trail Boss, Cultivating the Next Generation of Stewards. Veronica is committed to uniting stakeholders through shared priorities of conserving native habitat, prioritizing sustainable land stewardship, and fostering producer professional relationships. Her experience working as a ranch manager has highlighted the importance of thinking about ranch success and ranch health holistically. As a manager, she values establishing realistic monitoring plans and recommended effective management practices. Veronica is a true innovator and isn't afraid to take risks or try something new to develop community amongst students and professionals involved in natural resources management. We are pleased to recognize Veronica Urbanzik with the Society for Range Management's Young Professional Conclave Outstanding Early Career Award.
Well, congratulations. And you're seeing some of these award recipients right here. Congratulations, each and every one of you. This is just so incredible. And thanks to our tech team, this is coming together quite well. We've got some amazing nominating videos. We've got all of you award recipients and your fantastic videos. Again, folks, you can take a moment. You can look at all of them on the screen. Gives you a break from looking at yours truly. So look at this as the stars of your society, and some of not all could be here, but let's just take a moment and acknowledge each and every one of our incredible SRM award recipients. Congrats again, folks. We are so proud of you. And again, those of you that are out there in the society, I don't know, do you think your day's a little bit busy? I don't think so. Look what these folks are doing out there. Looks like we can all get a few more hours out of our day. And notice a theme here. Notice a theme: working with others within the society, partnering up, doing research, applying that research. Also, being involved in the committees. Look at some important committees and that involvement. We promoted that through the society this past year. So if you want to keep advancing your career, advancing your profession, get involved in committees. Get involved in the board, get involved in the executive leadership. We're always looking for those leaders. Again, I want to give a big thanks to everyone that nominated here for 2021. Thank you to the nominating committee, the awards committee, excuse me. You did an incredible job. You did an incredible job. And for those of you out there right now that go, wait, so-and-so needs to be on this list. Yes, they do. And we're planning to be in person in Albuquerque in 2022. You have some time to get your recognition, get your nominations into the awards committee. So please make sure to do that. As you can see, we've got an outstanding list of recipients, and we know there's a few more out there in the society that are very deserving. Please make sure that happens. So with that, we'll bring it together. We're going to celebrate in the rest of the week. And how great is this annual meeting? Thanks again, everyone, for tuning in to this year's 2021 award ceremony. We're very excited to celebrate our awards recipients. We're going to keep the celebration going throughout the week. Now we're going to turn you back to the rest of your day and the technical sessions that are about to take place. Thanks again, everybody, and we'll see you down the virtual line. Oh, look at that. All right. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you down the line. Congrats again, recipients.